Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today is May the 31st. Yes. So I reckon tomorrow summer will be officially here. It will start I believe Memorial Day starts what's called up here in the north, the 13 weeks of summer. That's how summer is gauged up here. That's what they called it anyway when I lived on. So I am on my way to Jill's to babysit Ife today and be there when Issa gets off the bus. I'm doing pretty good on I'm not going to call it a diet, just the healthier eating lifestyle. Like I said, I've cut back nearly all of my salt intake. I'm not adding any salt, but of course if there's sodium already in my food, then whatever I decide to prepare, then of course I am getting some sodium, but I can tell a big difference already in the puffiness in my face. And I'll take my glasses off so y'all can see me look you in the eye. So let's see what's going on. I brought sausage with me, guys. I don't cook breakfast and eat it at home before I leave. I wait and eat it when I get to Jill's. Sometimes if she cooks eggs for Issa, he loves egg sandwiches, she'll scramble enough for me. But if not, then I'll either scramble or fry an egg for him. And I used to eat an egg sandwich nearly every day that I was babysitting, but no bread. I haven't bought a loaf of bread since, what store was I in? I can't remember. The last time I went shopping at Walmart, which was payday, the 21st, I didn't buy any bread. So I don't think I bought any bread since I was in that Ideal Market. Well, I don't know how much sodium is in this sausage. I probably can't have more than about an inch of sausage. I'll have to check and see. My blood pressure had really been spiking. And have you ever noticed whenever you get your blood pressure taken, the tighter the blood pressure cuff feels on your arm, you know your blood pressure is going to be high. I'm thinking stop pumping. I mean, sometimes it pinches your skin and it hurts. So when Jill took it a couple of weeks ago, I knew it was high. And I have taken an extra blood pressure pill a few days this month. So when it comes time to refill it, I'm going to run out before my insurance will allow me to get a refill on it. You know, I'm sitting there reading comments, and then I get sidetracked and start watching a video, and then before I know it, it's 7 o'clock, and I have to take my shower and wash my hair and get dressed. So, of course, I'm late leaving. I didn't leave until 7:35, and I'm supposed to be at Jill's at 8. But getting ready this morning and being in a hurry and trying to get out of the house, of course, like I just said, I didn't cook breakfast, so I didn't have to worry about turning the stove off. And my coffee pot goes off by itself automatically after 30 minutes. So I don't have to worry about that. But y'all remember when we used to have to iron our clothes? And of course, I would try to iron them and get my dress or my pantsuit or whatever I was wearing to work ironed and laid out, and pick out my jewelry and scarf or whatever accessories I was going to wear with it that day. But if I didn't do it, then I had to turn the iron on in the mornings and iron my dress and get myself ready for work. And I remembered reading somewhere, I used to subscribe to Red Book magazine. I used to get 2 magazines. My favorite was Red Book, I believe was the name of it. And probably got Better Homes and Gardens or something. I think I had 2 magazine subscriptions. But, every month I would really look forward to that Red Book coming in and read, just get to read all kinds of stories and everything. It was so much fun. And I remember reading this article about this man, and his wife, every time they would get ready to go on vacation or even just go to church and Sunday school, they would get halfway there and his wife would say, "Oh, I left the iron on. We have to go back and so I can turn the iron off." So they would go back and she would go in and only to realize that it was off. So the next time they were leaving for vacation, here she goes again. "Oh, I left the iron on." So he reached into the back seat and pulled out the iron and says, "Oh, no, you didn't. I brought it with us this time." But y'all, Dora used to do that all the time. She wouldn't iron every day. She would, back in the old days, all the clothes had to be hung out on the line before Mama got a clothes dryer. So she would, back then they would, to keep them from, I guess after they dried, she would wet them. She would wet them and then take the pile of laundry and tie them up in a sheet and then put that in the freezer. I don't know why they felt like they had to be wet and then frozen. Did your mom ever do something like that? I mean, what was the reason behind it? I guess I could Google it, but I would rather hear y'all's comments about it. That was so odd that, you'd open up the deep freeze to get out a bag of beans and there'd be a sheet full of frozen laundry in the freezer. Maybe it was just a Dort thing. I don't know. Remember we had, you would take, I guess, I don't know if it was something that they would fit over the top of the CocaCola bottle. But anyway, Mama would have that CocaCola bottle on the ironing board and have it full of water, and that's what she would use to sprinkle the clothes with. Maybe it was because they mixed up that old, what was the name of that starch? I can see it in my head. It had a blue label on it. Anyway, I think, didn't they mix it up in water and then dip the clothes into the starch? Then I think they had to mix it up some way or another and then dip the clothes in it. So that must be why they were wet. Anyway, Mama would take that Coca-Cola bottle with water in it and, sprinkle that on the clothes and then iron it. Back then they didn't have steam irons. You just had just a regular old iron, that old long black cord on it. Mama had the ironing board in the laundry room. But I always would bring my ironing board into the living room or someplace. I loved ironing, y'all. I could stand over that ironing board for hours and iron. I just loved it. There's some household chores that you just bond with, I guess. It just gives you, since I had OCD so badly, I guess the ironing, peacefulness of it and the strokes of it going back and forth brought me comfort and peace. Some people enjoy vacuuming, but I don't. I think it's the noise of the vacuum cleaner. I never felt comfort or any type of soothing action to do with vacuuming, but ironing I did. I would iron my clothes, and I would actually iron John's clothes before I ironed my own. I just loved ironing his shirts and having them hanging in the closet all nice and neat according to the color of each shirt. He used to wear these Van Heusen shirts with the little button-down collars. You remember we used to buy those, I think they were called stays, the little plastic thing that went to the corners of the collars. In place, I reckon. He always had these most beautiful ties, and he never wore a clip-on tie. He knew how to knot a tie. He definitely knew how to tie one. So those were good days, and we're still having good days, aren't we? Everything is just so different. I mean, 30 or 40 years ago, we just could not have imagined all the convenience and the technology and everything that we have today. I used to so fear, going on a trip, because if you broke down, you were just stranded, and you were at the mercy of whatever stranger came by and stopped to help you. Back then, there was no, I think they did eventually erect some phones on some of the interstates so that someone who broke down could actually call someone to help them. I know when I was driving along the interstate in Florida, I saw a car abandoned on the side of the road, and then about a mile or two down the road, this lady was walking. So I pulled over, and she was a little leery to get in the car with me, but she did, and I took her to the gas station so that she could call for help. Back then you were just at the mercy of whoever came along, and just, it was frightening to go someplace, especially a woman by herself. But I just want to let all of y'all know how much I appreciate you watching the video that I did when I was on the nature trail, and for the hundreds and hundreds of loving, kind, and inspiring comments that you left for me. Like I said, that's not something that I normally address on my channel, but it was on my heart heavy, and I just felt like I needed to talk about it to y'all, because I know y'all don't go to any of the troll channels. And I definitely didn't do it to boost her channel, but it was something that needed to be addressed, and it happens to me on a very frequent basis, and it's not anything that I want y'all to be concerned about or worried about, because it doesn't worry me. Just y'all leave me such beautiful comments, and it comes from your heart. It just comes from your heart, and it touches me. It really does. So thank you for being here today. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here and haven't subscribed, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. My numbers haven't changed. I'm still at around 29,750. So for y'all who didn't see the live stream when I announced the giveaway, whenever my channel reaches 30,000, which I've been struggling to reach for nearly 2 years now, I'll be giving away 3 $100 gift cards, and that will be to celebrate the 30,000 subscriber achievement. So y'all just hit that subscribe button, and maybe you'll be the one that helped to get me up to 30,000, and you may be lucky enough to win the gift card. Y'all have a wonderful day, and y'all just keep on coming back.